Although the Volkswagen Beetle enjoys a worldwide distinction as one of history's most resilient and remarkable automobiles, it's pretty tough to picture it as the basis for a genuine high-performance race machine. But in 1963, that's exactly what happened when the Sports Car Club of America created the Formula V class, open-wheel, rear-engine race cars with mechanicals provided mostly by the Volkswagen Beetle. Formula V immediately became wildly popular as a strictly amateur class that featured terrific levels of competitiveness within the budgets of just about anyone who wanted to give it a shot. In 1991, Pro V took the Formula V idea to the next logical step by bringing major sponsorship on board while retaining the purity and simplicity of the class, meaning...
Well, what it is a bunch of Formula V drivers from the SCCA, Sports Car Club of America, who organized a series with a major sponsorship from Valvoline and now from AdPac Corporation as well. And we run races with stock SCCA Formula Vs and we get paid for it.
Recently, we caught up with the Pro V faithful at Charlotte Motor Speedway for one of the 5 Pro V races held annually. The pits and paddock were loaded with Pro V cars and drivers from all over the country. And it was apparent after seeing a race-ready Pro V car without its clothes on that much of the appeal of this class is the straightforward technology these cars compete with.
It's a 1200cc air-cooled Volkswagen engine. Basically, the engine's a 1965 bug engine. We have to use Volkswagen heads, Volkswagen cranks, rods, pistons and cylinders, flywheel, all that stuff. We can't use oversized pistons. We have a certain CCs in the combustion chamber, certain valve size. We can port and polish the heads. We acid etch the intake manifolds. We blueprint them within an inch of their life to where everything's as perfect as we can be. But we're really restricted. It's a real restricted class.
It's got a VW bug engine, transmission, front suspension, and all of the brakes are essentially stock from that car. So it's an inexpensive class, and but the cars go surprisingly fast.
Many forms of motorsports have large corporate sponsors, but few of the chief executives of those sponsoring companies actually race in the series they help finance. Peter Harris's company, AdPac, is a major player in Pro V, and Peter himself competes in this Pro V machine. Besides having a ball in it, his relationship with this series has a bottom-line benefit.
Sponsorship is just good business. Where else can you invite major executives out to an important racetrack where they can see a race that looks exciting? Their kids come, their wives come, and they feel a part. Hey, they're right down in the same pits that A.J. Foyt's in and races in. And so, and it's very little expense, but a lot of promotional coverage.
If you had to describe the overwhelming attitude found at a typical Pro V event, the term infectious enthusiasm comes quickly to mind. Everyone has their own favorite driving force behind why they love it.
I like the open wheel cars. They're a lot more fun, for me anyway. I just like the type of formula. I like the ability to work on the car myself, to be able to find parts readily available for this car if something does happen. It's just, mechanically, it's an easy class to work on.
Well, I think the greatest thing about Pro V is that you get to run in big fields and you get to run in intense fields, and yet you're still not leaving the SCCA's camaraderie. There's a real nice feeling of family here, and guys like me who aren't mechanics can bring a car here, having done everything you can do to prepare it ahead of time, but if something does go wrong at the track, these people help you get back out there.
Jeff and Mindy Lawhead of Ohio are a good example of how Pro V is a true family sport. In fact, it helped to start this one in 1995 at the National Runoffs.
Jeff finished second, which was the best finish that he'd ever had at the runoffs, and we were all pumped up, and he proposed to me on the radio on the cool-down lap.
Great wheel-to-wheel competition, low cost, and a community spirit have all helped to make Pro V an enormously popular series. This event on the high banks of Charlotte sure looked like fun. You can almost imagine what a kick it is to dice, dart, and dive around an exciting track like this in a responsive, well-balanced race car. And how close was the finish?
One of us won.
Yeah.
Depending on who you talk to.
6 inches. Whoever won, they won by 6 inches.
I go out there, and if I have set my car up, and if I do a really good job, and I have a little luck, then I'm going to win. And if I don't win, then it's nobody's fault but my own. But you can take pride in knowing that you accomplished it.